What is going on, everybody? We are back for Monday Night Football. We got two games, rare doubleheader. Been happening quite a bit this season, so I don't know if it's really that rare, but we got a doubleheader. Recap of Sunday. We went minus 0.38. We went 3-3 on the bets, but the juice basically got us minus 0.38, making our total plus 1.17 on the season. A lot of back and forth in this NFL season. No, hopefully we can start adding to the green rather than just basically staying where we are. But diving in, Lions versus Bucks, kicking it off there. We got a 6-point spread over under of 53.5. Really predicting a shootout here. I'm taking Mike Evans over 64.5 receiving yards. This frankly just comes down to who the hell else is Baker Mayfield going to pass to. Godwin's out, Bucky Irving's out, and Buka's out. I mean, Evans has to have like 200 receiving yards in this game for them to even be in it. I don't know who else Baker Mayfield's going to even pass to. Be the wide receiver 4 and 5 option or something out there, and that's kind of what he's working with. Plus, he's just coming back from injury, so I understand this line being a little low, but generally, this is a guy who averages 100 yards per game. He was injured 4 weeks last year, ended up over 1,000. That's 80 yards per game. Years before that, he's hit over 1,000 in every season. So at the bare minimum, he's getting 60 to 75 yards a game, 75 plus. He's had some injuries sprinkled in there. So the games he's in, he's actually getting about 100 yards per game. So definitely looking for him to bounce back here. Again, it really just comes down to Baker. There's nobody else on the field. If Baker's going to throw, it's going to go to Mike Evans. And that's kind of what this comes down to. And likely, they'd be playing from behind in this Lions game. They got a 6-point spread in the Lions' favor. Lions are probably the better team here, as much as, the U.S. is back in the Bucks and like the Bucks to keep going. Overall, with all the pieces, with the injuries, Lions probably the better team. So I think the Bucks will be playing from behind, and Baker's going to have to throw. If he's throwing, it's going to one guy. Bet number 2, kind of piggybacking off that one, Baker Mayfield over 244.5 passing yards. Right now he's averaging 255 passing yards. And with this over-under set, 53, 54, depending on how you want to look at it, we're going to see a shootout. Lions don't generally get this high unless we're seeing two teams who are only offense, and that's what we have here. I think, again, Bucks are probably playing from behind here. Lions getting out early. Either way, I think the Bucks know they're going to have to throw, and they're going to have to keep moving this ball to stay in this. If they start going to the run game with Rachaad White, of all people, I don't think it's going to turn out too well for them. I think they know they got to keep the ball in Baker's hands. Whether Baker scrambles and Baker runs or, they do options, that's fine. But I think Baker's going to be the one who has to really be the centerpiece here, and I think it's going to come from his arm. So it's over 244.5 passing yards for Baker. And then on the flip side, if Bucks are playing from behind, that means the Lions are ahead. So I'm taking Gibbs over 61.5 rushing yards. Obviously, a key offensive piece in this offense here for Dan Campbell and the Lions. Gibbs certainly gets his yards in, plays over the mark. He's their top guy in the backfield. And if they're playing from behind, he's going to get the touches. He's able to break one or two of these off for an explosive run. He'll hit this pretty easily. But likely a shootout, like I had said. But on the flip side, with the Bucks in the shootout, the Lions know they have the offense where they can utilize Gibbs as a running back. They can give him the ball. They can get those yards. He has the ability to make those explosive plays. And even in their, if they're playing from ahead, they're still able to give him some touches, kind of slow the clock down. The Bucks aren't going to have that opportunity. They're going to need to keep firing and keep scoring. The Lions know that they can win this game. They have the team to do it. So I think they're able to give him some touches, allow him to kind of play the clock a little bit. And Gibbs over 61.5 rushing yards. That's nothing for him. He's 100-yard. He gets 100 yards in games periodically here and there and throughout the season. So 61 should be no problem for him. Heading to the second game of this doubleheader, Seahawks versus Texans. We got a 3-point spread over under of 41.5, and I'm taking the Seahawks -3. They're just an all-around better team from what we're seeing. Texans, as of late, certainly look good, but they went 0-4 to start the season. Didn't score over 20 points throughout those first 4 games. And then last week, we saw them beat up on the Ravens, but, I mean, honestly, who's not injured on the Ravens? Without Lamar, without that defense that they have, this is not the same Ravens team that we're going to see in 2 weeks when Lamar's back. It's just not. So I mean, dropping 44 there, it's, hats off to you. You drop 44 points, but we look at all the other games, you take that one out of there because the Ravens are just so injured. It's not even like you're playing a real team. They haven't scored 20 other than one game. It's been pretty bad offensively for them, and I think they're going to need some offense against this Seahawks team, who's looking really good. Seahawks, they've only scored less than 20 once and have scored more than 30 on 50% of their games so far this season. Texans only scored over 20 twice, with the Ravens game being one of them and one other time, and 44 points last week with a struggling offense. I think we're going to see some regression. We're going to see reality get checked back in. And I think, honestly, the Seahawks are going to play with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. They are not a field goal team to this Texans. They should be, maybe close into a touchdown just with the way the Texans have played. I understand the Texans' defense is pretty solid, but I just don't think that's something that's going to really be able to overcome how bad the Texans' offense is. And the Seahawks' offense, 24 to 30 points this game would definitely get this done. Staying right en route, we got JSN, Jackson, Smith, and Jigba over 88.5 receiving yards. Kind of piggybacking off that, I think the Seahawks offense is going to be able to, preserve here and get out to the early start. That's going to come off the arm of Donald Duck, Sam Darnold, Donald Duck. But he's going to come off. He's going to be the one that's throwing here. And JSN, he's averaging 116 yards per game. Am I saying that, if this line was 110, I'd still hit the over? No. But, he's certainly getting yards. He's certainly getting attention. He's certainly getting receptions. And I don't foresee that changing here. I think they're going to go out there. JSN's going to be involved heavily in this game. And that's just going to come off the arm of Sam Darnold, not Donald. And I think, 100 yards would certainly be possible for him here. And we just need 89. That'll get it done. Lastly, we have Sam Darnold passing yards ladder. It's been a little bit since I've done one of these, so just kind of going over this. What I do when I say a ladder, basically I take the over-under. So in this sense, I'm going over 223.5 passing yards for Sam Darnold. Then I bump it up, and I go to 230 plus. So 230 plus passing yards. And in this instance, because it's so tight, I'm doing 0.8 on the 230. Then we bump it up to 240, I do 0.6. Then we bump it up to 250, I do 0.4. So essentially, if he gets 250 plus yards, this is about a 3 unit. We gain 3 units. If he just hits the over, we lose, just the juice, essentially. And if he hits the 230 plus, we make money on the whole thing. So that's kind of why I do these ladders. Essentially, I'd like to do where I can just hit the over under and it covers everything. But in this instance, with the 230 being, it's only plus 102, so close to 223 doesn't really get us there. So I had to bump it up a little bit. But to dive into why I'm doing this ladder for Sam Darnold, he averages 256 passing yards per game. Now, obviously, that's a line to go off of. If he just hits his average here, we're doing good. Even if he just gets 250, a little bit below his average, we're doing good. And the books are thinking this will be a tight game. And I can certainly see, with the Texans defense. But as far as everything I just went over, this offense has been explosive. This offense has been dominant. They've played the Niners. They've been able to move the ball pretty well. I will say, they played the Jags, who have, obviously looked great as of late. Actually, all season. They're 4-2 right now, so they, the Jags have looked decent. And Donald's last 5 games in the passing yards: 292, 218, obviously misses, but followed up with a 242, which would make us money here, a 341, and a 295. So missed this one against the Saints where they won 44-13 and Darnold didn't throw a pass in the fourth quarter. So he throws a 5-yard pass. He would have hit the over-under on this line. Pretty easily. You can kind of see why he missed it there. But yeah, 292, 218, 242, 341, 295. Only one of them missed in the last 5 games. I don't foresee this changing at all. And I think he's able to kind of stay on par. I think they're taking this a little lower than it will be. I think the Seahawks, look a little more explosive than people are projecting here in this Monday night game. Those are our 6 best bets, though, for the Monday night doubleheader. If you have any questions on the ladder, certainly throw them in the comments below. But let me know if you guys are talented, what you're changing, what you're thinking, and I'd love to interact with you. So until next time, bye.